Almost 5,
Way
but still,
late,
we're way
way
late. Sorry, everybody. Technical difficulties, myriad of other things that we were working on. Okay, I was working on. I just kept working, trying to catch up, trying to stay on top of everything. I had a long day. What's that?
Hit the play button. We can talk about that on the show.
All right, here we go. We're going to play on 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Hernan CS here, host of the Business Bros podcast, along with my co-host,
the insurance bro, James CS from Pipeline Insurance, where we are empowering licensed professionals to effectively add insurance to their existing businesses.
I see.
I'm getting there, man.
I forgot my why, too.
It's all good. Because what are we doing here at the Business Bros Pod?
We're trying to help you create wealth today and
generational wealth for tomorrow.
That's what it's all about.
Woo, woo, woo.
Speaking of that, dude, I mean, we started late, yes.
It is true.
It is almost 5 p.m.-ish.
Almost
sharp.
5 p.m.-ish sharp. Yeesh.
But, dude, that's kind of what it's about, though. You just keep working. Like,
I can't stop.
I don't know what the deal is there. Like, we're supposed to hit our calendar marker. It says 4 o'clock. Actually, I think your alarm goes off at 3:30 podcast time. Time to get over, and then you drive over. And then we're supposed to start on time, and then then you get a phone call. Then you start answering it, and hop on the email, and boom. I mean,
well, yeah,
it happens to all of us. Though.
It does.
Everybody gets backed up.
I can't help it. And it's all about consistently trying to help our customers and trying to help our agents, man.
Effectively add insurance into their business.
That's right.
That's what it's all about. All right, ladies and gents, I want to remind you guys that very soon here we're going to be launching our podcast webinar. We're going to be helping you create a podcast so that you have constant, basically, content coming out on a regular basis. Because, I mean, let's face it. Everybody knows that if you're in business and you're not on social media, you're falling behind in the times, right? You need to become a thought leader. You need to become an influencer in your community. It doesn't mean, like, when I say influencer, I don't mean like, hundreds of thousands of views and hundreds of thousands of followers. What I'm talking about is you having the consistency so that your circle of influence knows what you do and how to contact you if they need your help or services, or when they hear somebody else who needs that particular service or product, they're going to think of you. You got to become that kind of thought leader. So we're going to help you launch a podcast to help take care of all of that.
Whoop,
and
whoop.
in that gap, in that little sphere of podcasting, I wanted to talk today about why we do an interview-based podcast, because there's a lot of different ones that you can do, right? I mean, Melina Palmer does hers, and it's very informative, and she breaks down the psychology of why people buy, and it's very informational. She does it once a week, and it's very valuable content. You can go that route.
That would be the Brainy Business, by the way.
The Brainy Business podcast. You can go that route. However, for us, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for me to really teach you how to do that if I don't do that myself. Right. And so I'm going to show you the value of having an interview-based podcast. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that today, because that is the space that we know. That's what we do. When we have a podcast show like today where we have no guests, it's because something happened to our guest. Like, our guest didn't make it in time, traffic, family, whatever it is that happened to that particular guest. We weren't able to get them on the show this particular day. And so we hop on here and talk about stuff that we're doing, right? So we get to talk to you about the reason why interview-based podcasting works. So if you guys listen to our show, you know that we didn't actually start off interview-based. We started off, semi-interview-based. It was just James and I talking stuff.
Yeah, who was interviewing who?
I don't know. I think we were both just kind of rambling. I think I was trying to get you to buy into doing this podcast thing at that time.
Hey, what do you know? I bought in.
So
took a little bit.
Yeah, it did take a little bit. It was probably one of the harder sells that I had to make, right? So we transitioned. A little bit harder than insurance, that's for sure. Yeah, definitely harder than insurance. Well, at least at first, right? Insurance, I was like, hey, you're doing this. You're like, all right.
All right.
Podcasting, okay.
Yeah. I owe you. What can I say?
So we didn't start off in the interview based, and not doing an interview show basically hurt us for a while in the sense of growing our audience. It didn't hurt us in the sense of growing and developing our craft.
Right.
I think it was actually good that we had, maybe 60, 70 episodes under our belt before we had our first interview.
Yeah.
Because we got better at turning on the mic.
I mean, somewhere in that 60 to 70 of just you and me was when we came up with Business Bros.
Yeah.
And, whatever other ridiculous things that we've done.
And any other stuff. But mostly I think it's the ability to talk on the mic, to like be comfortable with like even something as simple as how far away you should be sitting on the mic, right?
Right,
so you get the right sound.
Because if we're all the way over here as opposed to this guy right here.
Yeah, it sounds different, right?
Totally.
So subtle things that you don't really notice on the show that we learned in those first 60 episodes, things like recording properly, things like posting the episodes, so that when we did have a guest on the show, now we had some skill and some talent and some, at least a little bit of trail behind us to understand how things worked, right? So the whole idea behind having a guest on the show, right? Initially, we did it because we wanted to grow our audience. And one way to grow your audience is to post the content out there. You do it on social media anyways. When we post a piece of content, we have some copy that goes into it. We have a wrap that goes around our video that has some sort of catchy headline or hook that we want you to, that's the main point of that particular video. You also do things like hashtag so that your video shows up in particular hashtags. When people are looking at certain things, you'll show up. So those are ways on social media that you can get some exposure. But on the Business Bros, or on the podcast platform, when we were doing the Business Bros, we wanted to get a little bit more of the audiences of people who we were familiar with. So my 8-year-old son was the one who gave us the idea. He basically said particular hashtags when people are looking at certain things. Oh, sorry, extra audio.
It happens.
So my 8-year-old was the one who told us, if you want to get people to listen to your show, you got to get influencers on your show.
Influencers.
So let's break that down. What does that mean? Like, to be an influencer, right now the influencer has that connotation of supreme being, like a celebrity did when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
When we hear influencer, or we hear YouTuber, we think of somebody who has millions of followers, or that sort of thing.
So like my question is TMZ like not following Will Smith anymore? Are they following like what's that guy, PewDiePie or whatever?
I have no idea. But
like, are those the new age celebrities?
They are definitely the new age celebrities, but they're also the new age celebrities within specific niches.
That's true too,
right? So when we were talking about becoming influencers, and when I want to share with you about becoming an influencer, is to redefine what that means. Right? I don't need you to be the most the Joe Rogan of podcasting. Would it be awesome if you created a podcast that became number one on iTunes and you did have a lot of valuable content and people just came to you in droves? Well, absolutely, that would be amazing. But that is not going to be the normal outcome of what happens when you become a podcaster. The whole goal is for you to become an influencer within your circle of influence. You already have friends that you talk to, people that you see on a regular basis, family that are already in your sphere. It's like, when the day you got your insurance license or the day you got your real estate license, like to you, everybody should know that you have this thing, right? So they're all going to send you business because you've gotten your new license, and they're all going to think of you because for whatever reason, you think that just because you have a license, people think of you, and they don't, right? People just don't think of you when they think of anything. They're thinking of themselves. Think about you when you wake up in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, are you thinking, I wonder what my dentist is doing today? You don't, because unless you're going to the dentist, there's no reason for you to be thinking of your dentist. You probably don't even know your dentist's name, right? You go to the office, to the dental office. Like, that's what I do with my kids. I don't know my dentist's name. I know I go to the Smile San Diego in Chula Vista.
But
I don't know my dentist's name, right? However,
but the point is that if they were an influencer, if they had social media following, if they had social media presence,
you would know them by name or by brand. Right? And that
which of those is most important?
I think they're both the same, actually.
Ah.
Right? So, for example, I don't know how many people know me by name, like when I'm out in public or in the real estate space. And most people I don't think know my name.
But they know your shirt.
But they know my brand. And so when we go to events or stuff like that, they're like, hey, I know that.
Oh, Business Bros. What's up?
Exactly. That's what my name is, Business Bros, right?
Yeah.
And so that is important though, because they're going to identify a brand with what it is you do. You're in podcasting. Sweet. Awesome. Right? Whatever it is that you do, you need to make sure that people are aware of it. And specifically, you start off with the people you love and care about the most. They need to know what it is you do. I want you to, especially like if you're Mexican like us, I have a lot of cousins. I have, a lot of aunts and uncles.
Primos, tios,
right?
and tias.
I don't always know what all of them do for a living, even though we hang out on a regular basis. I mean, think about it. You don't really know what a lot of people... You know what some of them do.
I know what some of them do.
And you have a good idea of what some of them do. And it's usually the ones that when you get to the family events, they're doing what? They're talking about what it is they do.
Truth.
Right? And so I need you to understand that even the people closest to you don't understand what you do, don't know exactly what you do, unless you give them the content that shows them what you're doing. This comes with Instagram stories. This comes with Facebook stories. But everybody you've come across in this marketing space, any company that you go out there and they're like, oh, we're going to help you grow your following. It's not about that. Oh, we're going to help you get more likes and more views. It's not about that. It's about making sure the people that you want to work with see your brand on a regular basis. And so when they talk about helping grow your following, it does nothing for you as a business if you have a bunch of people following you from India that have no association with what it is you do. It's just a number on your feed, on your profile. You want to be that brand that people know, like, and trust and want to work with you. They think of you. When they think of an industry, they think of you. When people think of podcasting, they think of me because of the brand that comes out. They think of the Business Bros because the Business Bros is putting out podcasting content every single day, right? And those who actively listen to the show or those who actually listen to the snippets of content that you see on our social media page, those people get a better understanding of my background or James's background, and then they do insurance business with us, right?
Yep.
That's just the outside of growing your circle of influence, right?
The shell.
Now, when I started the show, I said I wanted to talk about why is it important that you have an interview-based show. Okay, so when we have an interview, when somebody comes on the show, we usually invite people who have a business. A, because it's called the Business Bros, but B, we're trying to build an insurance agency, outside of podcasting, right? We have an insurance agency. So how do we get more insurance business? We probably have to talk to people who have an insurable interest, who have a business that needing insurance. Maybe they have a home, maybe they have the auto, maybe they have all these other things, right? Whatever it is, they have an insurable interest. And when are they going to do business with us? They're going to do business with us when they know, like, and trust us. So we invite them to be on the show. We get to know them individually. We give them a platform for them to talk about what it is they do, share their information with other people. We give them video content. We give them audio content. And guess what? By the end of the show, they know, like, and trust us. This is true. This is a prospecting tool at its finest.
Yep.
With a bonus of you grow your circle of influence, right?
Right.
Every person who is on the show not only comes on the show, but says, hey, guess what? I had the opportunity to be on the Business Bros podcast, and they, boom, share that with their friends and family. And now we've reached a new generation of followers and fans of the show. Now, this isn't a get famous fast thing. This is us growing our podcast one guest at a time.
Yep.
It's like you growing your business by prospecting one person at a time, one call at a time. Now, if you do it consistency on a regular basis and you nurture those relationships, then you're going to start to be like the snowball effect. It's going to be difficult at first, and you're going to start to, get easier and easier and easier. And then before you know it, that thing's just rolling down the hill.
Once you get that momentum going.
On our show, we have our booking all the way out like six to 8 weeks in advance of people who are scheduled to be on the show. Now, what can we do to be a little bit better? I mean, these are things that we learned along the way. I mean, first we learned about, well, how do we even reach out to people and ask them how to be on the show, right? So we started off one way and we learned a couple techniques, and then we got better at that. And then we were like, okay, well, we're going to get people on the show. How do we actually schedule them? to remind them that they're going to be here. So we figured out that piece, right? We opened up like a time trade account. So now we have a link. People can easily come in. And so, once we had the link, it was cool because we could send them an email. But then we got a little bit better. Then we started learning about creating funnels and landing pages and gathering data and information. So, I mean, we've been at this for 2 years, over 400 episodes, and we didn't really start implementing some of these cool things until the last like 4 or 5 months because we didn't know any better. But now we do. Now we're using a lot of it's keep learning. And this is the stuff that we want to share with you guys so you guys can step into this podcast space and not struggle 100, 150 episodes like we did before you start getting momentum. We want to show you everything we've done so that you start off running rather than crawling.
Right.
Right? Things like, I don't know what to talk about on an interview. That's cool. Guess what this is called? This is called a script. You guys can't see that very well, and I don't use it as much anymore. But this is a conversational outline.
But it sits right there in front of you.
It sits right here in front of me, and it's a basic outline of how to talk to somebody to get deep into their story to understand who they are.
You know what that kind of reminds me of, though? Some of our first episodes, the early ones, the Ford script.
Yeah. Family, occupation, recreation, dream, right? This is the type of questions that you want to ask your guest. Things like what David Meltzer taught me, which is make sure that you are more interested than interesting, right? Be interested in the conversation. Understand what that person's going through. Dig a little bit deeper on why they're doing what they're doing. There's something beyond that external outside bubble that they're sharing with you. There's something deeper in there. And that's where the great stories and great interviews lie. Not just that. That's where you make the greatest connection with the person that you're talking to.
Truth.
Because you actually care. And you want to know. So that's what the power of podcasting is all about. Podcasting, if you're trying to get into this game to try to be the next Joe Rogan or the next, be the #1 on Apple iTunes, I mean, good on you, mate. Go after it. I 100% am gung-ho for you to go do that. There's a lot of preparation that goes into it. There's a lot of, setup and all kinds of stuff that you need to do to get there. And by all means, if that's your goal, go after it. But what I want to show you when we do our webinar on March 16th, what I want to show you is not to be, you can be the best and the #1. I want to show you how to use podcasting to build your brand, to build your name, to become a thought leader so that you can build a business that is functioning the way successful businesses operate, and that's by referral. Because that's what you're doing here. You're in business doing something right now. You're trying to generate revenue right now, right this second. That's what you're trying to do. And for most of you, the biggest thing you want is more clients. Well, I'm telling you, not all the time more clients is the right answer. Oftentimes, yes, you want more clients, but you want better quality clients. You want warm leads, people who are coming to you, right? And you want the people who are already doing business with you to do more business with you if possible by effectively adding insurance into your business. Right? So you want people to do more business with you if possible and refer people to you. When my friends, like you guys don't really know this very much, but I haven't closed my own real estate transaction in like almost 2 years. Everything I've done now is on a referral base. When I talk to somebody, because they know that, they know what I do because of the content that we're putting out, they're like, I need help with XYZ. I don't know. It could be financial planning. It could be accounting. It could be taxes. It could be real estate. I sit down, meet with them. And then I'm going to plug them into somebody that I know is a good fit professionally for that does a really good job, whether it's a real estate agent, whether it's a financial planner, whether it's a tax attorney, whatever it is, whether it's an attorney, an estate planning attorney, shout out to Viviana, right? Whatever it is, attorney in heels, right? Whatever it is that you need help with, what's up? That is where I'm going to plug you into, right? That is what I'm going to do. I'm effectively adding all these pieces of business into my repertoire so that I can get paid on all these different things. That's what we want to do with you with insurance. That's why I want to share with you the power of podcasting, because you need to understand what we're trying to do. It's not about becoming the most famous person in the world. It's about becoming the most famous person in your circle of friends and then growing that circle of friends and family to generate referrals for you. That's what it's about. And if you can wrap that concept around your head, then you're not going to be shooting for these drastic things. You're not going to be getting conned into marketing companies that want to, do SEO and bring you, thousands of leads and, get you all these followers from India. Like none of that matters at all. right? You're getting lost in the numbers game that doesn't even have any relevance to your particular business. Who cares if you have 100,000 followers if none of them comment on your stuff and if none of them do business with you?
Mm-hmm.
That's a complete waste of time.
It looks good.
It looks good. It might give you the little endorphins in your head and you might feel good, but you're still going to struggle with your business every single day. You need to use and understand what podcasting can offer you so that you don't have to worry about things like, I don't know what to say. That's cool. I'm going to help you figure out what to say. I don't know how to use, what equipment to get. That's okay, because I'm going to share with you what equipment you need. I don't know, what else do people worry about?
I don't want to be on camera.
I don't want to be on camera. That's okay. Podcasting, we can do it like this. Cover the camera up and it's just audio only, right? There's all kinds of different I don't knows. We're here to help you through each and every one of them, because we're going to show you what it's like to take your ideas, take your concepts, create a show for you, that fits your lifestyle, that fits your profession, that you're comfortable with and passionate about. I don't know. Can you guys sense the excitement that I have in my voice?
I can.
I'm excited to share this stuff with you because it works.
It does.
It freaking works. And if I can show you
I actually haven't seen you this excited about a lot of things.
Dude, and that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. I'm like, this is the key. If you're worried about, I don't know what to say, if you're worried about, I don't know how to put content out there, I'm afraid, I don't know how to turn on the live button, I never know what to talk about. All these things on the webinar that we're going to talk to you about, we're solving all those problems for you. There's a reason why we want to be part of what you do. We want to help you effectively add insurance into your business, yes, but I want to show you how to get that business, right? How to go out and talk to new people, how to target. The interview thing is so awesome that if you wanted to target a specific niche, let's say you wanted to go out and talk to dentists. I don't know why dentists have been in my head all day today, but you wanted to be in your insurance right now and you want to go after dentists, right? We had this insurance agent. She was trying to go after dentists and she was doing the classic door knock thing. I go and knock on doors. I pick up the phone and I call. I can't get past the secretary. All these different things, right? Well, what happens if you went up to the dentist and said, hey, Mr. Dentist, here's what I want to do. I want to do a video for you. I have this podcast. We're going to do this interview. By the time we're done, I'll give you the entire interview. It'll have video content, audio content. You can put it on all your social media pages. And it's for free. I just want you to come on my show.
Oh, that sounds better.
That sounds a lot better than ding, ding, ding. Can I sell you insurance? Right? There's a huge difference. And most people say yes because they want more people to see their business just like you do.
Free advertising.
It's free advertising. You're in control here, right? You can pay people to do everything for you. And trust me, I am going to share with you the option of where we'll do it all for you. But it's not cheap.
March 16th.
March 16th. It's not cheap. When people do things for you, right? Think of the butler style or, the billionaires, right? Millionaires, billionaires. If people are there catering to your every whim, those places are expensive. You ever go eat, you ever go eat steak at Sizzler versus steak at Donovan's, right? There's a big difference. At Sizzler, the guy comes up, he's like, hey, what do you want? Right? And how do you want your meat? Oh, okay, well done. All right, cool. And then they come and they drop the plate on you. I don't know, whatever. And then you want some A1 sauce? Done deal. You go to Fleming's or Donovan's, there's the guy, the butler, who comes to your table with the napkin properly dressed, and they bring you the warm towel, and they you have multiple forks, even though you don't know what to do with all the forks, right? And then they bring one meal, the appetizer, and they bring you the bread, and right? A completely different space. But what you pay at Sizzler for a steak and what you pay at Fleming's or Donovan's for a steak is going to be completely different.
Kind of miss Sizzler, though.
Yeah, I know.
The all-you-can-eat shrimp. Anyway, sorry, off topic.
So, and that's kind of my point. I'm going to give you the option to do that if that's what you want to do. If you're a person who has more money than time, then let me help you do that too. But for everybody else who's just getting started, who's struggling, let me show you what we can do. Let me give you control of your marketing. Why do you need to be going out and doing, getting everybody else done when you have a lot of time on your hands to get control of what it is that you want to do, so you can talk to more people, so you can share your opportunity, so you can help them by bringing them value by having content. And now you have content on your social media. Your friends and family know exactly what you do. They see you all the time. They talk about you all the time, good or bad, it doesn't matter. They're talking about you. You're top of mind. When they hear somebody talk about what they need help with, guess who they're going to call? They're going to call you.
That's right.
That's the power of podcasting. That's the power
of podcast.
It doesn't go right.
Yeah,
it was really good, though. It started off good. It started off good.
Power of pods.
There you go.
I don't know, something like that. Whatever.
So that's what we want to do. March 16th, we're going to hook you guys up. We're going to share with you guys the entire vision, what we want you guys to do. I want you to be as excited as I am about doing this new venture. This is you taking control of your marketing budget. Stop pissing away all the money on a bunch of stuff. You're doing all kinds of mailers that maybe have some sort of maybe return. I'm not saying those are bad. That's actually kind of, staying top of mind. Maybe if you hand wrote your letters, they would make more of an impact than if you just got generic cards, right? Make sure you're customizing that. It's not as, here's the thing. It's not as effective as picking up the phone every day and making your 100 calls. I'm going to tell you that right now. Oh. This is a short-term versus a long-term play. If you do that, if you pick up the phone and call, you're going to get a lot of no's, a ton of no's, but you will find the yes.
Yeah.
It is definitely an effective strategy. Mailers, same type of thing. The consistency is key in the mail, right? If you're doing door knocking, same type of thing. You're going to knock on a lot of doors. A lot of people are going to get mad at you. A lot of people are going to say no. A lot of people are going to be nice but not have anything to do with you. But every once in a while, you're going to find that one. They're all effective. Podcasting is a long-term play. This is you staying in front of people.
Brand building.
It's brand building. It's you staying in front of people, telling them what it is you do so that they know what you do without you having to tell them, so that when they're having a conversation about real estate, insurance, whatever, they're going to remember who it is that does that, which is you, because of the content you put out on a regular basis, because of podcasting, because you know how to do podcasting, because you worked with the business bros.
There you go.
All right, ladies and gents. I think that's time, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Mom says maybe dentists are on your mind because you need to make an appointment.
Oh, every 6 months, I already make my appointment.
Oh, it's already done.
Yeah, I go regularly. It's trying to get the other family members to go without.
What are you talking about? I wasn't
talking about you. I'm not responsible for you.
Oh.
6 years. That's gross, dude.
Hey, man, the Navy used to take care of it. Whatever.
No, I got kids, so trying to get them to go to the dentist is tough. They go anyways. They don't have a choice, but... Yeah, that's the toughie part.
Yeah, just schedule it and then take them out of school.
That's exactly what I do. Well, Mila actually wanted to go because she got her braces.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So she's got to go now. She don't have a choice. But and Liam's pretty good about the dentist. And the wifey, she's getting better about it. Because I set the appointment. I don't tell her that's just the day.
Oh, okay.
Up on the calendar. If it's on the calendar, it exists. It's happening.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. So, ladies and gents, put that on your calendar. March 16th, I want to see you guys at that webinar. I want you to learn.
If it's on the calendar, it exists.
If it's on the calendar, it exists. I want you to learn the power of podcasting. We're finishing up our landing pages so you guys can register, get all that squared away. And, we're going to be doing that soon. I hope you guys are excited as I am. That's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And we're out.
Bye, Facebook. Bye, Facebook.
It's the